Imagine this, you're standing on a beach you've never seen before. The sky is purple, waves are moving backward, your childhood friend is talking to you, except they suddenly become your school teacher. Then, without warning, you're flying above a city that doesn't exist. Everything feels completely normal until you wake up. Within minutes, most of it begins to disappear. Faces blur, places fade, conversations vanish. It feels like trying to hold water in your hands. You've just experienced something every human on Earth has in common: a dream. The strange part isn't that we dream. The strange part is that scientists still can't fully explain why. Every night, your brain creates stories, emotions, memories, and worlds that can feel more real than reality itself. Some dreams are joyful, some are terrifying, some make no sense at all. And while people have been dreaming for as long as humans have existed, the purpose of dreams remains one of neuroscience's greatest mysteries. But over the last few decades, scientists have uncovered fascinating clues. Dreams may help us remember, they may prepare us for danger, they may regulate emotions. And some of the strangest dreams you have might actually reveal how your brain is quietly reorganizing itself while you sleep. Let's begin with something surprising. Dreaming isn't unique to humans. Scientists have observed sleep patterns remarkably similar to dreaming in dogs, cats, birds, rats, and even octopuses. Anyone who has watched a sleeping dog twitch its legs, bark softly, or move its eyes beneath closed eyelids has probably wondered, is it dreaming? Researchers can't ask animals what they see, but their brains often enter the same stage of sleep that humans do when vivid dreaming occurs. That stage is called REM sleep, short for rapid eye movement. It was discovered in the early 1950s, and it completely changed how scientists understood sleep. Before then, many researchers believed sleep was simply the brain shutting down. It isn't. During REM sleep, your brain becomes astonishingly active. In some regions, it's almost as active as when you're awake. Your eyes move rapidly beneath your eyelids, your breathing becomes irregular, your heart rate changes. Meanwhile, your muscles are temporarily switched off. It's nature's safety feature, otherwise you'd physically act out every dream. For most adults, REM sleep appears about 90 minutes after falling asleep and repeats several times during the night. The longest dreams usually happen just before morning, which explains something you've probably noticed. You're far more likely to remember a dream if someone wakes you during REM sleep than if you wake naturally hours later. But that still leaves the biggest question: why dream at all? For thousands of years, people believed dreams came from gods, spirits, or messages about the future. Ancient Egyptians even kept dream books to interpret symbols. In ancient Greece, people sometimes slept in temples, hoping dreams would reveal cures for illness. Much later, Sigmund Freud proposed that dreams represented hidden wishes buried deep inside the unconscious mind. His student Carl Jung believed dreams were filled with universal symbols shared across humanity. Those ideas shaped psychology for decades, but modern neuroscience tells a more complicated story. Today, many researchers think dreams aren't trying to predict the future. They're helping your brain process the past. Think about everything your brain experiences in a single day. Thousands of faces, conversations, sounds, emotions, decisions. Your brain can't keep all of it. During sleep, especially REM sleep, it begins sorting through that enormous amount of information. Important memories become stronger. Less useful details are gradually removed. It's less like replaying yesterday and more like organizing a gigantic library before morning. That's one reason students often perform better after sleeping. The brain doesn't just rest, it reorganizes, but memory is only part of the story. There's another theory that's just as fascinating. Imagine something embarrassing happens today. Maybe you give a presentation, forget your words, everyone looks at you, you spend hours thinking about it. That night, you dream. Researchers have found that dreaming often combines emotionally important experiences with older memories in strange and unexpected ways. It's almost as if your brain is saying, "This happened. Let's figure out where it belongs." Some neuroscientists believe dreams allow us to process difficult emotions in a safer environment, reducing their emotional intensity over time. Your sleeping brain becomes something like an overnight therapist, not erasing painful experiences, but helping you live with them. Then there are nightmares. Nobody enjoys them. Yet they may have served an important purpose throughout human evolution. Imagine living 50,000 years ago. Every day carried real danger: predators, conflict, starvation. A brain that mentally rehearsed frightening situations before they happened may have given humans an advantage. Some researchers call this the threat simulation theory. According to this idea, nightmares are like emergency training exercises. The danger isn't real, but your brain practices responding anyway. Even today, many nightmares involve being chased, trapped, falling, or losing control. They're remarkably similar across cultures, perhaps because the fears themselves are ancient. Then there are the dreams everyone seems to have. You're falling from a great height. You're back at school taking an exam you never studied for. Your teeth suddenly begin falling out. You're trying to run, but your legs won't move. Most psychologists don't believe these dreams have one universal meaning. Instead, they usually reflect feelings rather than symbols. A falling dream may simply mirror uncertainty or loss of control. An exam dream may reflect anxiety about being evaluated. The details differ. The emotions are what matter. Some dreams, however, are unlike anything else. Have you ever realized you were dreaming while you were still inside the dream? That's called a lucid dream. During a lucid dream, part of your brain becomes aware that the experience isn't real. Some people can even control what happens next. They choose where to fly, who to meet, or how the dream ends. Scientists studying lucid dreamers have found increased activity in brain regions involved in self-awareness, almost as if the waking and dreaming minds briefly overlap. For centuries, lucid dreaming sounded almost magical. Today it's being studied inside sleep laboratories around the world. Then there are recurring dreams. The same place, the same people, the same strange events, sometimes repeated for years. Researchers believe recurring dreams often appear when the brain keeps returning to unresolved emotions or ongoing life situations. Not because the dream itself predicts anything, but because your mind hasn't finished processing whatever it represents emotionally. Here's another strange fact. Most people forget nearly 95% of their dreams. Within 5 minutes of waking, about half of a dream may already be gone. Within 10 minutes, most of it disappears completely. Scientists think this happens because the brain chemicals involved in forming long-term memories are much less active during REM sleep. Your brain creates entire worlds, then quietly lets them disappear before breakfast, which brings us to perhaps the biggest mystery of all. Why are dreams so strange? Why don't they simply replay yesterday exactly as it happened? One reason may be that different parts of the brain remain active while others become quieter. The emotional centers stay highly active. The visual areas work intensely, but the regions responsible for logical thinking and critical judgment become less active. That's why impossible things feel perfectly normal. You don't question why your childhood home is suddenly inside an airport, or why your best friend has become your grandmother. The dreaming brain doesn't ask whether something makes sense. It simply experiences it. And perhaps that's why dreams have fascinated humans for thousands of years. They're familiar, yet impossible to fully understand. Every night, your brain creates stories no author could predict. Places no map contains, people who never existed, moments that feel completely real until the instant they vanish. The next time you wake from a strange dream, remember this: your brain wasn't wasting time. It may have been strengthening memories, sorting emotions, practicing survival, or simply exploring connections your waking mind would never imagine. We still don't know exactly why we dream, but perhaps that's what makes dreams so extraordinary. For nearly 1/3 of your life, your brain leaves the waking world behind and enters one that science is only beginning to understand.